Have you found yourself with a lot of eggs like I have? You can sell them, you can give them away, or you can do like I do. I store my eggs and then I will float them to make sure that they're still viable. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to be floating some eggs, and then I'm also going to be putting some up in the freezer. Come along with me today and you can see what exactly I'm doing. We have a lot of eggs. This is just a small amount. I have 5 more flats in my larder where it's very chilled. We're not eating as much, and the ducks and chickens are laying a lot. I'm getting close to between 15 and 25 eggs a day. I can only eat so many. Yeah. So today I'm going to be floating them, and whatever's viable, we're going to freeze, scramble, and or do water glassing. If they're not viable, of course, they're going to go to the garbage. We start out with cold water. What we're going to do is we're going to take the eggs and we're going to put them in the water. If they stand up, they're okay. Not bad, not perfect, but they're standing up. So I'm going to probably be cooking these off for the critters. My chickens don't eat them, but my cats do. I've fed scrambled eggs to my cats before, and they like it. It's a good source of protein, especially during the winter months. I'm going to set them aside so I can actually see in here. There's no real floaters. If they float up towards the top like this and they are above water, you definitely want to chuck them into the garbage. If they're down in the water just a little bit like that, it's okay. Like I said, we're going to be freezing, we're going to be water glassing, scrambling and freezing, or giving scrambled to the cats. I've done this before, but you've got to be careful not to wash the bloom off. So I'm only going to be doing a few today and then more in the coming week, because I can't have this many in my refrigerator. There's just no space. Now my duck eggs are generally dirty. They are dirty. Ducks lay dirty eggs, I tell you. And when you water glass those, you want to make sure that they're super clean. Otherwise, they could be full of bacteria. Now for the duck eggs. I'm not seeing any floaters here. What I'm going to do with this first batch is I'm going to actually put those back into my refrigerator, and I will be eating these for the next week. We're going to be doing some baking and eating. I'll give some to my daughter so she can eat them, and we'll just have to keep on top of it. What had happened was I bought some chickens and ducks this last year, and I had someone say a couple people say that they wanted eggs, but that didn't materialize. Never count your chickens before they're laid or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to be having a lot of eggs. I will give some to friends and family that ask for it. I've charged people $1 a dozen at one point, and that was just to cover feed costs. So my suggestion to you is make sure that you have just enough if you don't plan on selling them for yourself and your family, because sales can go awry. They can have issues. You've got to be able to trust the people that are buying it. But it's just one of those situations where I had some older birds that I have about 5 older birds that are on their way out. They're about 6 or 7 years old now. And I didn't think they'd continue to lay. So with the chickens, I had bought 15 new. And I have about 25 laying hens. And it's about 5 of them are old girls. So don't overbuy just because you like chickens or you like ducks. Those two are a little standing up. Buy for what you need for your family. Figure out what you need and figure out how to keep those eggs fresh, or to be able to use those eggs by, like I said, water glassing. You can freeze in silicone cupcake holders, which I'll show you in a little bit. You can freeze them and then bag them. Bag them for use. And you can also use those for baking or scrambling or what have you. It's not the same as a fresh egg, but it's pretty darn close. I'll show you one of the duck eggs. This is one of the duck eggs that you get out of the duck house. And you've got to try to keep their laying area clean, but sometimes you find them out in the yard. So once you wash it, you've ruined the bloom. So it's no fun, no good. And they won't last as long, so you got to eat them quicker. I'm not really seeing a whole bunch of any floaters. I'm really glad for. I found a couple, and those will go to the cats. Yeah. So I want to show you pretty much what 2 flats look like, floated, and then we'll move on. This one's a little floaty, so it's going to go to the chickens or the cats. This is 2 flats of eggs. That's what they look like. So I'm going to be divvying them up between me and my daughter, and we are going to be eating these this week. Again, I will show you the water glassing, not the technique, but just showing the water glassing, what I have. Plus, I will show you again what I do with eggs that I freeze in my silicone cups. Now, I needed the larger, extra large silicone cups for these, for the duck eggs, but the regular silicone cups, regular size for the chicken eggs were fine. I found that the regular size that I was using for my chicken eggs, silicone cups, were just a little too small. These were going right up to the edge, and I didn't want to do that. When I wanted to save my duck eggs, I found that the smaller silicone cups weren't quite big enough. So I found some on Amazon. A lot of the duck eggs that I have, if they're not quite good for water glassing, I will take them and I will use them like this. I will freeze them and I will put them in the seal and meal bags for later use. It's just as simple as breaking the egg into the cup, taking your fork, breaking the yolk. On some you can. I did some without earlier and they came out just fine. This way you can just scramble them all up after you defrost them. I pop them into the freezer to freeze for 24 hours, and then after that I will take and I will put them in the seal-a-meal and I will put them back in the freezer for later use. It's that simple. duck yolks are a little bit thicker and harder to get out of the shell. I found that out. Here's a chicken egg. Because I wanted to freeze 12 today, not 11. Makes it for easier freezing. The silicone cups are a lot easier to use as well. Easier to clean. I don't have a problem mixing them up or scrambling the eggs. And I found it just a lot more convenient for me. I'm going to leave the 3 down the middle, or the 4 down the middle whole. And I'll just break the egg yolk and do a little scramble, and then it goes straight into the freezer. And ta-da! This is what the eggs look like, and actually it says duck, so I did this on the 18th of October, and I have a basket that I keep them in. We do eat quite a few eggs. We eat anywhere from 6 to, my daughter might eat 8 a day, her and her husband. And then we do a lot of baking, so this actually helps as well. I've got egg, I've got chicken and duck. That's how we work that one. Not bad at all. The ducks have stopped laying as much as they had before. They're about 6 to 8 the eggs a day, and the chickens, just kind of depending upon the weather, could be anywhere from 8 to 12 per day. So got to keep it going, got to keep them fresh, and that's how I do it. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate it.